You're listening to Beloit Podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of the Beloit Podcast. And on this episode, we have Chad Edel, local rapper known as High C, Broke Rapper Spare Change. He's got some shirts that say that. This episode was recorded September 16th, about a week ago, over a couple bottles of New Glarus Moon Man. Why am I mentioning that?
Because we like to drink New Glarus.
We like one or two of those.
That's all you need.
That's all. Yeah, exactly. You know, if it's not New Glarus, we like supporting pretty much any local brews, but the Off Kilter with our buddy Jim from Off Kilter Brewing.
South Beloit, right?
Yes, we had him on a couple episodes ago, and their Oktoberfest. It's in season. I think you can find that at Woodman's, Everett's. You can also go to offkilterbrewing.com. If you missed the episode we did with Jim, the founder of Off Kilter, check out all the past episodes. They're available on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher. You can also visit vivimedia.org. All right, let's talk to one of our Beloit community members from the local rap hip-hop scene, Chad Edel.
This is my first time ever podcasting. How you guys doing today?
Did you ever make it to Janesville when we were up there at the radio station?
Nope. Get a chance.
I didn't think
really
you
wanted to, but
yeah, I didn't think you did. Daedrid had his show,
Yeah.
and so that was Fridays. Fridays 10 to midnight, and I was Monday through Friday. That was such an awesome show, and I don't think we made like 20 episodes. So we were there. I mean, it seemed like a lot, but yeah, I got all those recorded too.
thing though, I mean, get people out there more to for the eye in a different way though, not just really just putting your music out and
Exactly.
or music videos. It's more of getting to know you personally, what your thoughts may be, or
Peace in the Streets a couple of weeks ago. Peace in the Streets, a lot of people I bumped into there had come in for Petite Man Life on the show,
Oh,
and
wow.
I was surprised how many familiar faces I ran into.
yeah, he's got a nice following.
Yeah. Well, it's good to know that, like, there's people in the area who are interested in our local media type thing we have going on, because we have a couple podcasts with the Vivi Media. We have a mini local talk scene, and, you know, it's different. You have the big radio stations, which I don't know who listens to them. Right?
Right.
Do you listen to the
Nah.
radio a lot?
No, I don't listen to radio. I mean, once in a blue moon, but hardly
Yeah.
ever.
No talk radio, right? They don't get
No
you.
time.
Sly doesn't
Early
get you
in the
on
morning.
They got this guy, Sly. He's on like every channel around. He's the
Dang.
only talk guy you'll ever, except 93.7. But yeah, I don't know. Not good talk coverage in the area.
Yeah, I mean, when I first heard about it, I just wasn't really as interested. But now that I'm behind the scenes of actually doing it, I'm like, wow, this is pretty interesting. Like,
Well, there's a lot going on. If you want to keep up with like all the entertainment, all the people who are doing, you know, especially the hip hop stuff, it seems like a huge scene in the area. But if you're keeping up with people who do rock, any kind of music, art of any kind
you
of
were the first person I heard it from. I mean,
podcasts, and yeah.
And now I'm starting to really open up though, instead of because I was so focused on just myself, like I just be in tunnel vision, and I really don't open up too much to like the outside stuff because I'm so worried about.
That's a lot of people, though. And a lot of
Right.
people never heard of like the podcast or some of the like the community radio down the road still doesn't. A lot of people have not heard about it still, and it's kind of sad because, like I said, there's people really using it as an outlet, and we're still trying to fall on open ears, still trying to find them. I think we're getting there. I don't know.
Yeah.
We get on the podcast. This one alone, we get 20, 30 listens per episode.
Oh, wow.
Just on SoundCloud. We just in the past couple months, we're now on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean,
I
all
gotta
over.
open up to that because like ASCAP and all that.
Yep.
I gotta get that opened up more.
That's where you get your tracks up. You get your words, your music, everything.
Man. And
Yeah.
it's pretty much copywritten right out the gate for you.
Exactly. It's a
And
little
protected-
investment. but-
Protected. Yeah, I think it is like 150, but I mean, it's definitely worth it if you're really an artist trying to pursue anything without
Yeah.
somebody trying to steal your ideas or whatever the
Yeah.
case may be. But it's pretty much where you want to be if you want to be protected, I guess you could say.
Got to pay the cost to be the boss of your own music.
Right.
And that's where it's at with ASCAP, BMI, and all those others. I think there's like 3 you really have.
One question I was going to ask about is there other things that you use besides like SoundCloud? Because like, you know how that is where you have to download the app to
Yup.
actually listen?
Yeah.
That might be like a little,
Do you have an Apple? You have Android?
I have a iPhone, yeah.
iPhone. So in the iTunes store, you should be able to search either Vivi Media or Beloit Podcast.
Oh wow, you got it.
We're
It's an
up.
app?
We're
Oh,
up.
wow.
Yeah, just in the past couple months, though.
See,
So
there you go. I'm learning new stuff every day.
I expect over the next like 5 years that people will slowly catch on,
Yeah,
and that I'll have
definitely.
maybe 100 good followers or so.
Getting like how you had Johnny on there. I just seen you drop nacho cheese.
Oh man, yeah.
Has Petite Man done this?
He just did one not long ago too. Yeah.
Just getting them few right there is gonna open it up to other people because they're, you know what I mean. It's gonna get out to the masses eventually.
Well, even when you shared it earlier, you said you were coming on for an interview. I was surprised you got a couple likes on it. I said, "All right, that's nice."
Right,
you know,
right.
And yeah, no, that's the stuff I'm really in it for. The couple people who will really realize what it is. I mean, you don't want people listening just to be a critic, just to be like, "Oh, you could have done this better. You could have done that."
True.
You know, somebody could have done a Beloit podcast before me. That's the truth.
Right.
And they didn't. So here we are. I haven't had any harsh critics, and that's a plus. I've only had a good handful of people who are like, you know, this is a good idea. Let's keep doing more with this. Yeah, we're going to keep doing it. Let's
Hell
switch.
yeah.
We got to switch gears. Let's talk about you. We got to talk about your music. But before we talk about your music, let's do the Beloit podcast thing and kind of get some of your background. Tell us who you are, where you come from, and tell us about that path to get to where you are right now today.
Yeah, a lot of people pretty much know me around here, but for those who don't, we all got our own story to tell. We all grew up obviously not perfect lives around here. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be here. But I did grow up around that gang banging, drug dealing lifestyle, you know, which I ain't proud of, but I mean, I wouldn't take it back because I learned a lot from it. Just the fact of I had to go through them tough times to get me to where I feel how I am now. I try to find good in all the bad no matter what, you know what I mean? Bad is always going to happen. It ain't what happens to you, it's how you handle what happens to you, in my eyes. I mean, I grew up around 5th Street area, 5th and Merrill. I just feel like not really having a stable home, you know what I'm saying? I just felt like I turned to the streets to try to find my love. And, you know, as I'm getting older, I realized the streets really didn't love me like I thought, you know what I'm saying? But
Okay, so I don't know if I brought this up to you because we've talked a couple times. I had you in when we were doing some Vivi Media projects with Johnny and also Daedra. I don't know if you remember, we went to high school together, right?
yeah, I remember you.
I don't think me and you had the best exchange.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it was bad, but I don't think I gave you a good impression, and I don't think I got the, like, vice versa. I don't think me and you, I was thinking about this the other day. I was a very, I would say, kind of an aggressive youth, and I got in a little trouble right here in Beloit. I'm not the same person I used to be at all.
Right.
And a lot of people who know me from high school or middle school or elementary, they wouldn't know me today. And I would say that's a good thing.
I'm not going to lie, like, I remember your name, but I kind of don't remember exactly who you were. My memory, man, I fell on my head too many times, but...
Oh, yeah, me too. Skateboarding. Were you an inliner or skater? You were one of them, right? No?
I did. I kind of messed around with the rollerblading thing
Yep.
a little bit with Rafe and all them back in the day.
See, and
Brandon them.
that's what it was. Remember how it used to be a confrontation between skaters and inliners?
Yeah, I think
that's
so,
all it
yeah.
was. It's just some petty stuff
Right.
that
little kid stuff.
Yeah. Do you think kids still do that today? Like, do you still like skaters versus inliners?
There's always
man.
competition. Like
that's
they're
some
trying to
messed
show
up
out
stuff.
for the girls or show out for the bros or something. But there's definitely always competition with different things. So
It's just funny to think
you know.
about.
As we get older, though, you know, we forget about it, get past it, and say, hey, now we came together, and now we're putting our ideas together. Like,
Exactly. Yeah, that's all I can think is I used to be a different person, and I can tell you used to be a different person. I haven't, I don't know what's gone on in your life in the years since high school, but the person I see now is a different person. And, I get that a lot from people too. Some people are like, yeah, you're just sometimes too different than I used to be.
It just took many, many years of failing and making so many mistakes to finally like realize like what's important and where do I want to be. I don't want to live like this forever. I have kids now. That's basically who changed my life. You know what I mean? One of my daughters was actually put up for adoption. That was out of my control, and like that was one of the worst days of my life, but I didn't let it hold me back. I flipped it around and turned it and made it into a positive, because now where I'm at now, I could have never imagined myself being where I'm at. And that was my main motivation, was to fight my butt off to get my daughter back.
No, I can really appreciate that because that's Beloit. And it'll make or break you. And it's a great thing, and it can be a very hard thing.
Yeah,
That's
life
what I
is
mean.
definitely not easy.
I don't know how many people have listened to my podcast and thought, this guy had everything figured out. He's doing a podcast soon.
Right.
No, I had a pretty sketchy background, pretty sketchy youth. You wouldn't put up who I used to be and compare him to the person today. It would be a pretty rough contrast. But I think that's a lot of people in Beloit. And I think our generation, because we're pretty close in age here,
Right.
our generation is really starting to define ourselves because we have,
Right.
a lot of us have gone through a lot of rough backgrounds. This city has a lot of people in our generation and the surrounding generations who are just trying to make a difference.
One example is like there's this young kid that I kind of know. He's about 20 years old. His brother is actually a Beloit police officer, and like I hung out with him a few times, but like from the outside looking in, his brother automatically thinks, "Oh, you hang out with Chad." He automatically thinks the worst, not knowing who I am now. You know what I mean? It just goes to show you can't really judge people off their past. You know what I mean? Because I had to go through all of that to get to how my mentality is now. I'm not sure how his upbringing was being a police officer, but obviously he found the right road, found a career that he wanted, you know what I mean? And now he's successful, I guess you could say. But like, what's to say that I can't be better than who I was, you know what I mean? Just because of my past.
Yeah, the first thing to do is just realize it, think about it, and wake up on that path every day. And you look like the kind of guy who does that. So why don't you tell me about some of the things you do when you get up and you're ready to be motivated? What do you work on?
I would say what really helps me is I actually write down my goals. I write down the small ones first because I feel like you can't just jump straight into success. Oh, I want to be this big time rapper, or I want to do this, and you just jump straight into it and you're going to make it. You got to set up small steps ahead of time and accomplish them. And every time you check one off on the list, it just gives you so much more motivation. Like, if I can do this, why can't I keep doing and getting to where I actually want to be? You know what I mean?
No, I do. And sometimes those little things that you got on that list will be 2 months, 6 months, a year.
True.
And I've had things that are just years long, but when they finally happen, that's worth it. But making that list and prioritizing, whether you do it mentally or on paper, that's what it's about.
Yes.
Your music. I have a couple tracks, I think were sent to me at some point. And we're going to put one at the end of this episode. I don't know which one. We'll have to have you pick out one. But tell us about your music, your rap name, rap or hip hop. I'm one of these guys where every time I say rap or hip hop, I feel like I said the wrong thing. So what would you consider your music?
Hip hop, I would say hip hop, but I mean, I just feel like I always say rap too. I mean, I'm a rapper.
It does work, yeah.
Rap, hip hop. But I feel like hip hop was more the roots of where it originated, like
Definitely,
that style
yeah.
of music came from, and rap was kind of like a branch off of hip hop and more of just rhyming words, I guess you could say.
That'd be the history of it, yeah.
It all started like, you know, growing up in them tough times, just like I didn't even start off as making music. It was more like the best way for me to cope with my problems is to write everything down. That was the best way for me to get things off my chest because I felt like I suck at communication. It was hard for me to go to anybody and just talk about my problems.
Yeah.
I just felt like grabbing a pen and a piece of paper and just writing down stuff to get it off my mind and my chest. I guess you could say poetry, maybe spoken word type deal. Just friends around me who were growing up as the rap type, they would be like, "Man, you should put these lyrics into songs." And
Yep.
I guess it formulated from that. But at the moment, man, music will always be a part of me. I love it with everything I got because it's the best way for me to cope with this world, you know, going through anything. There's different music for different moods. But like right now, I would say I'm more focused on building up money-wise to actually promote me better than actually just making music. And because it's hard for rappers, hip-hoppers these days because...
Yeah, just in Beloit alone, I mean, a lot of people say whatever they want to say about the scene here. There's a lot going on in the scene, no matter what you say.
Right.
You can say bad or good. No matter what, there is a lot going on.
Right, there definitely is. I just feel like all this money I've invested over the years, it seems like nothing has really came back except for, I mean, the fans who truly love me. I really do it for them, but at the same time, it's like, man, all this money that I could have been, you know, could have went towards other things, but it's like I love music so much, I put all my money into it. But then it seems like I'm not really being heard.
Yeah,
so
no,
like,
I know. That's how it is with the podcasting. Before I was podcasting, I was a musician, And I know I would put all of my money into the next big effect, the next big pedal, anything I could to
Man.
be upping the musician next to me.
Right.
Getting behind a mic, that was about it for me. So I reduced my cost a little bit.
Right.
But even in that, not really. But you're right. There's a huge cost. What you get back is like some social capital. You get
Right.
some social recognition. People hear about your name. You really do throw your money out the window.
Right.
Though. I mean, that's really
Taking chances, big chance, kind of like lottery, I guess you could say. That's how I've kind of seen it, because not everybody's gonna make it. It don't matter how much talent you have. I feel like the music game is more about it takes money to make money. Basically, there's so many talented people out here who haven't been heard or seen or anything like that. And then you got, I don't really like judging people, but because obviously they're doing something right, but like a lot of the brainwashing type music is being promoted more than
I there's music out there that I can't understand why you'd want to share a message that's very similar to some other artist. I think a lot of people don't realize how similar their content is.
right.
So that's why I really like what goes on here in Beloit. There are people who they listen to the mainstream artist and they know they want to be different. And we have all kinds of people who are way different than some of the mainstream stuff. We have people like you, Deidre and Johnny.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys say enough
Beloit
yourselves
definitely
different.
has a lot of talent.
Definitely.
And really, I don't think they're heard like that, which is a main focus of mine. Is I'm just trying to invest in different businesses so I can build up, so then I can invest more into Deidre, who is really funny, and Johnny Dreadlocks, who goes so hard at his music, and it just takes money to make it. So I mean, like, I just seen a quote not too long ago. It said, the average millionaire has at least 7 sources of income. I know it ain't all about money, but like to live this life and just to be happy and do whatever you want, you kind of need money to do them type of things. So
You know how many artists in town I've seen looking for a manager? That's something that's really important if you're taking yourself serious. That's something not only you, but anybody else who's listening who's a musician. Think about those alternative paths that you could do, because you could be a manager, you could be a promoter. Just a promoter alone teaches you how to promote not only yourself, but somebody else. You have to be passionately into what they do as for music, promoting, managing, any of that.
Yeah.
Booking shows for someone.
that's a lot of work for
It
one
is.
person to do by themselves.
Yeah.
So I just feel like your net worth determines your net worth, or your network determines your net worth. You have to really get out here and meet new people and, you know what I mean, get your name out there. Because a lot of people around here, they seem like they just want to do it by themselves and they don't like really collabing with other people. I understand the egos and all that, but man, we got to come together. Somebody knows somebody that you don't know.
Tell us about some of the artists you've worked with.
I would say Johnny Dreadlocks is a big person that I collab with. He showed me love from day one. Like, I remember one day I made a post and said, because I really didn't collab with too many people out of Beloit, so I was like, man, this is my hometown. Why haven't I collabed with many people from here? So, like, I made a post one day. I got this song with a hook and an open verse, if anybody wants to get on it. And Johnny Dreadlocks was the first one to hop on there, so I was like, okay, bet. We got a song called I Got 'Em together. We got another song called Right Back, including Deidre. And that was a brilliant song put together. Like, it just was so cool.
Try listening to that without it getting stuck in your head.
Right.
Yeah, no, I tried.
It just was so cool to be like in the studio just working with them hands on, and it just came together so good. It was one of the awesome experiences I've had with music. We just actually, me and Johnny Dreadlocks just actually got a girl who can sing Sunshine. She got on this hook for this song called Maze, basically talking about, like, you know how you're in a relationship and your girl or whoever you talking to, she got you in kind of like a maze, or she feels that way about you.
That's relationships. That
Right.
is.
So we got that on the way. I'd like to collab with any and everybody. I mean, I think Lil Seizure wanted to do a collab with me. There's a few others out there. It's just kind of, man, my life's so busy right now. It's hard really. And not having a lot of money to fund for studio time and things like that is kind of what holds me back from a lot. But if I could do it, I would definitely I would live in a studio if I could.
He's ready to work with you. Pretty simple. Hit him up.
Who got the juice? Hi, see? No, but I love everybody who just follow their dreams and doing what they love. You know, we could be out here doing other things and breaking the law like we used to, or, you know, hurting people, but we just doing what we love and just trying to give back.
I love seeing our generation really doing that. And I can't vouch for every other generation. I can't vouch for everyone, but our generation, the people I see that I went to high school with, some of the people that I just knew growing up here, I don't see a lot of people throwing their lives away. I see a lot of people doing what they can, pushing to hold on. Whether it's through their art, what they do to entertain others. I really don't care what they do, but it's visible. You see it when they try. There's a lot of us trying. It's going to be interesting to see where we are 5 or 10 years from now, where this city will be, and where some of us will be within it.
Right.
Yeah.
As long as we got, man, just everybody following what they love, that's going to show the younger generation to do what they love. You know what I mean? Whether that's be a police officer, a firefighter, a lawyer, anything. You could be anything you want. It's just how much you want it. You know what I mean? And how much you're going to put into it. You get what you put in. And I've been seeing that lately over the years. I just never used to believe it. I always wanted everything at the snap of my fingers. Nothing you love ever comes easy, you know? You got to put in hard work.
Yeah, that itself is a very hard lesson to take on the first 10
we
times
all want
it
it
hits
right
you.
now, pretty much.
Yeah, and it'll hit you again and again until you realize it's probably not going to happen at that speed. It's just not happening. That's such a hard one. It's a lot of hard lessons, but the city, that's where it's at. This is a place to learn it, because if you come out on the other end, you really could take yourself some places. You could go far. I see a lot of people right now who could take what they do very far.
Man, there's so much talent in Beloit. We got basketball stars, we got football stars. Man, we got so much talent. A year or so ago, I really wanted to bring a semi-pro basketball team to Beloit, and I'm going to get back to that again. It's just, I felt like the money-wise is people don't really want to invest in something that they don't think people are going to take serious. I'm going to eventually, once I get everything I need to invest, I'm going to get back to it. That way I'll have money to fund it for myself. Yeah. Instead of asking like for sponsorships and things like that. I just felt like the easiest way that I see, just coming from where I'm from and being tatted up and stuff, people don't take me serious, so it's kind of harder for me to kind of get them sponsorships. I believe in it so much because like I've seen so many basketball stars out of Beloit, and I want to bring something positive to Beloit. You know what I mean? One
of the earlier episodes, Kyle Weaver, he was a big supporter of what we do with the podcast, and I think he was trying to get into doing some podcast type stuff.
Yeah, I grew up with bro.
He plays all over the world, and he's a perfect example of somebody who made it doing that. It'd be great to see him start some kind of semi-pro league of his own, and it'd be great to see something like that start right here in a city like Beloit. That would be amazing. A lot of stuff does start here, and a lot of people just don't know about it. I'll be writing the book on it. Stay tuned for that.
Shout out.
Where can people keep up with your music and everything else you do? Tell everybody where they can keep up with you.
You can find me on Facebook at Chad Edel, EDL. That's my normal page, but I mean, I promote a lot of music off there. You can find me at reverbnation.com/High C the greatest, THA greatest, or at High C 3601 YouTube. That's where most of my stuff is, Reverb and YouTube.
Yeah, a lot of people in Beloit do the Reverb Nation. I didn't even know about it till I was looking up all the musicians in the area. I think you can go to Reverb Nation and do a Beloit search on it even. Find all the artists, look for them, because there's a lot of good ones in our area who take all the time and effort that it takes to publish your music to this online medium just so you can hear it.
And one more shout out to Wavy Will. He's a big cameraman, producer around this area. I feel like he's who I've done a lot of my music with. He's great at what he does for the price. He doesn't even charge that much, but I mean, ain't nothing for free. He'll definitely do his job for what you're paying. He's definitely great at what he does, I feel like.
Everything I've heard and seen is really good. That's all I can say. He'd be a good interview. I don't know if he's a Beloiter, but I know his content. He's pretty good.
Originally from Chicago, but he resides in Janesville at the moment. But he definitely messes around with Beloit. He's got a lot of connects out here.
Another guy to check out. Well, anything else you want to throw in?
Just whoever you are, just know that follow your dreams, man. Life can be hard no matter what. You can get caught up in a lot of things, distractions. It could hold you back from what you want to achieve, but just stay focused on yourself. Love who you are. Don't let nobody else tell you that you can't do nothing, because you can. Even though I'm not blown up yet or anything like that, I could just see the little steps that I've made. It just put me in such the right direction that I'm just going to keep doing what I got to do, and I know I'm going to make it, and I know that y'all can too. One love. Shout out. Your boy High C. Shout out to Reese Wood for doing the podcast. I appreciate it. It was definitely fun, my first time doing it, and hopefully I'll be back again. And shout out to Beloit.
Thanks for coming.
My dad made it.
come from the bottom, but all my life I'm about to take it off. B-Town Salute. This for my people, I got 'em. I was really broke with my team at the bottom. Gotta get my peoples out the hood, I made that promise. No more stressing, no more worries, no more problems. If you don't believe me, then I think you best start watching. Don't you worry about my peoples, cause I got 'em, yeah I got 'em. No more worries for my peoples, cause I got 'em, yeah I got 'em. Don't you worry about my peoples, cause I got 'em, yeah I got 'em. No more worries for my peoples, cause I got 'em, yeah I got 'em. Don't worry about my peoples, cause I got 'em. The bottom, yeah we popping up without a Glock, go fuck a flocker. Headed to the top, and I promise we ain't stopping. Feeling like I'm future, cause I'm just being honest. Yeah, I'm honest, yeah, we on it. We the hottest, like we live, boy. You can't stop us, ain't no coppers. You oppers, why you knock us? Cause you not us, your bitch doctor. So just watch us, cause it's obvious you opposite. We popping like them choppers on the block, just call it shotters. They hate us, cause they ain't us, but our hustle so outrageous. That's what made us, we gon' make it, even if we have to take it. You hate us, you fakers, we some players out for paper. B-Town famous. I was really broke with my team at the bottom. Gotta get my peoples out the hood, I made that promise. No more stressing, no more worries, no more problems. If you don't believe me, then I think you best start watching. Don't you worry about my peoples, cause I got 'em, yeah I got 'em. No more worries for my peoples, cause I got 'em, yeah I got 'em. Don't you worry about my peoples, cause I got 'em, yeah I got 'em. No more worries for my peoples, cause I got 'em, yeah I got 'em, got 'em.
Worry about my peoples, cause I got 'em. The drama, I hate to see my people struggling, work to Obama. I'm trying to get my family out the ghetto, no more problems. I told her I'ma make it to my mama, I made that promise. Yeah, I promise I ain't stopping. Being broke is not an option. Don't you come around here popping. You ain't from Detroit, Wisconsin. Got me feeling like a fish in a tank full of piranhas. Told my city we gon' make it. Don't get so used to the bottom. Tell them haters kiss my ass. I remember being payless. Mama had to shop at Payless, and the kids with all the greaters. We was so used to the haters. Now it's you and your playlist. B-Town famous.
I was really broke with my team at the bottom. Gotta get my peoples out the hood, I made that promise. No more stressing, no more worries, no more problems. If you don't believe me, then I think you best start watching. Don't you worry about my peoples, cause I got 'em, yeah I got 'em. No more worries for my peoples, cause I got 'em, yeah I got 'em. Don't you worry about my peoples, cause I got 'em, yeah I got 'em. No more worries for my peoples, cause I got 'em, yeah I got 'em, got 'em.
608. It's more than just the area code. It's a way of life. Don't worry about my people, cause I got it. 608 versus everybody.